All right, so we ready? Lights,
Yeah.
camera, and action. Do it one more time.
Do what?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
See, you say testing 1, 2, 3. I say testing 1, 2, 3. I kind of go down. You go up.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Conversation with the Browns. I am Mr. Brown, and she is
Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown, my wife. Intelligent, beautiful, and all the above.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to jump right in this episode. The topic, I don't know how we're going to label the topic of this episode. The topic is gift giving because we're around Christmas. So, by the way, Merry Christmas, everyone who's listening. Happy Advent, happy holidays. You know, some people get all bent out of shape about people saying happy holidays and not Merry Christmas. How do you feel about that?
There's a lot of holidays.
Exactly. Even New Year's is a holiday, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you might not. There's several holidays within a week, so yeah. I think happy holidays.
Happy holidays is fine. I don't think it's a protest necessarily against Christmas, but
I think sometimes Christmas people get a little too crazy.
A
little too easily offended.
About everything. But anyway, not to put anybody down as we start the episode, but I do want to talk about gift giving because it is Christmas and we're around the gift givers. I don't know what the title of this episode will be yet. The topic is gift giving. And the reason is you're a great gift giver and you're a sneaky gift giver, but it's still good.
Sneaky?
Yeah, let me tell a story. So our 9th anniversary, we agreed not to give each other gifts. Wait, let me tell a story first. You can, we agreed not to get each other gifts because we kind of forgot. And then typically we forget because we do have 2 anniversaries, but life gets busy, we forgot. And the night before, I noticed that you and Gracie were doing something, and I thought maybe you were doing something for Gracie, so I didn't think anything of that. I saw some boxes and stuff like that. I wake up, it's Friday. I wake up, go play basketball in the morning. You take Sophia to school, come back. Evan's not in school yet. And I walk in the house, and there's these 10 gifts, huge gifts on it's not called the mantle, it's called the hearth, right? On the hearth by the fireplace thing. And I'm thinking, what's that? Oh, maybe they're doing something for Gracie because I saw Gracie last night. Go take a shower, come back. You and Evan sitting there grinning, and Evan is just overjoyed because he knows when the gifts are.
He picked it.
He picked the gift. And you surprised me with 10 gifts for our 9th anniversary. And I felt really empty-handed. But I really appreciate your ability and joy in giving gifts. So if you guys want to see that video, we have a video of that on our Life with the Browns channel. Go to youtube.com/Life with the Browns. You can watch the whole video of my wife surprising me with 10 gifts on our 9th anniversary. And she is an amazing gift giver. So I'm not complaining. I'm just bringing up.
You should start that story like you're complaining about it.
No. Well, no, because I don't feel, and we're going to get into the gift giving thing. I don't feel when I receive a gift, I want to receive it and not feel the burden. I have to go get you something. Like you spend $50 on me, I go spend $50 on you. And so I want to talk about this idea of gift giving because you're a good gift giver. And we had a conversation with another couple about gift giving, especially around Christmas. And first of all, let's talk about gift giving, especially around the holidays. So, well, let me ask you, how do you become such a good gift giver? Why do you like giving gifts, and what's your strategy? Because we can tell all the people how to be a good gift giver like you. Yeah, there's 5 tips to be a great gift giver in the holidays and any other time of the year. That's the title of the episode.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna have to come up with 5. You have 5 things. I'm not sure if it's like all sorts of other things. It's not necessarily something that I specifically thought I was bad at and tried to get better at. It's something, gifts is something that I value, but I'm not sure if that's part of how I grew up. But I think about my siblings, and it's not necessarily something that all of us equally care about or are skilled in. So I'm not sure if it's something that I became or if that's just part of how I am. Well,
speaking of siblings, I remember distinctly one year we were in the living room giving away gifts or exchanging gifts, and your sister Hannah saw the gift that you gave everyone, and she reached over, kind of leaned back and whispered, "Man, I got to up my gift giving game." like, man, like she was just really blown away. And most people are blown away by your gifts.
I would say that it's something that I've always valued, even when I think back to like my earliest memories of giving gifts. It's always been something that I valued, and often something that I didn't have much of a budget for, but for some reason that's just part of something that mattered to me, was giving gifts. And so for a long time, and that's still something that I do, like I think it's a lot less to me about the dollar amount spent, but thoughtfulness, and something that shows people that I love, that I've thought of them, or that I care about them. So in some ways that's something that can make it hard. Like I kind of have high expectations about what counts as something meaningful. And so it can make it hard.
You are hard to get a gift for.
No, let me finish. No, I think what can be hard is when I want to give a gift, or when you have like the list of, here, you need gifts for these 3 people, and I don't know them well enough to really feel like I know that this will be meaningful. So that can really be tricky, but I just like it. And I notice that that's not necessarily true for other people. A lot of people just feel the like pressure, and it just feels like a lot. Or I think there's just other things, like there's things that maybe are hard to wrap up. For other people, just like spending time with someone is most important. And that's not something that's easy to put a bow on. So I think that there's a lot of different styles. And I wish that there wasn't quite so much. Like, I feel like actually that you give me a bad time, like I somehow caring a lot about gifts makes you look bad.
No.
I don't ever intend by like for example, with that anniversary gift, my version of the story was we had a conversation about like, are you doing, do you have plans? And at the time I didn't have any gift spot because I didn't have any good ideas.
That was the night before.
No, it was more than that. But because for something like that, I feel like it's not like there's this pressure that I have to have an anniversary gift for you because it's an anniversary. The thing that is fun to me is when I have a good idea. And from the time I talk to you to the morning of, I had a good idea.
You had 10 good ideas. Because it wasn't just about the gift. Let me go back. I apologize if I ever make you feel bad about that gift, about the gift of being a good gift giver and your heart for giving, because I always appreciated it. And I did have to fight at one time trying to, do the same thing in the same way. But I understand we have our own language of giving. One of mine is I want to get you something big. And we talked about this. It doesn't have to be big. It can be thoughtful. But my big gifts are thoughtful, I think, because I like to do things like when you wanted a Kindle. I surprised you with a Kindle. And to see you reading your Kindle every night brought me joy that I gave you something that you can enjoy on a regular basis. And it wasn't out of guilt. It wasn't like I had to go buy her something because it's Christmas and let me go get this thing, because I know you don't like gifts that aren't well thought out. And so I like to see things that you will use practically, and you're a very practical person on a regular basis. And it brings me joy to see you comforted. Like, you have things that you need, like the car we have. I was so happy to be able to buy your car because your car was breaking down, side of the road, and now you have a car that's way better than mine, right? And that, to me, that gift brings me joy. You don't have to go out and buy me a car. That would make me upset, more debt. But, so yeah, I like to give gifts. I don't want you to feel bad, but your gifts are so thoughtful and so meaningful that I just appreciate it. So I'm sorry if I made it come across as if I, making fun or, even that day that you got me all those gifts. I thought it was so amazing because not only were you excited to give it, Evan was excited to see you give it. And I was excited to receive it, even though part of me was like, man, because it wasn't just like you bought me. Let's talk. Do you remember all the gifts you gave that day? Like all 10 of them?
No, because it was more about the idea. But I do think that you bring up a good point, that it often feels like a more comfortable space to be a giver than it is to receive. I think for some reason, sometimes it's hard to receive a gift, maybe because there is this sense of, when someone gives something generously, it feels, for some reason, we get in this space of feeling like we need to reciprocate and be able to give something equally back. And I think that that's something that a lot of people experience. that sense of this was such a good gift and it's hard for me to just enjoy and receive it. If I feel like it then puts the other person almost in like one up. And I think that's fairly common, that it feels nicer to give something. And not that you don't enjoy the gift, but there seems to be that sense of like, oh man, like you were saying, even with my sister, it was like, man, now my gift doesn't feel very great or something. And I'm not sure why we have that. I wish that wasn't true.
And it may be a part of our culture, but I don't know. But there is this, and I've learned over the years to stop that for myself. It's harder with you because I care more what you think. I really care what you think. But I remember somebody told me a long time ago, somebody being a speaker, going places, especially speaking in churches, I get done speaking and somebody would give me what they call a holy handshake. And they would shake my hand and they put some money in my hand. And I would feel like, no, I don't want to get, I would kind of push it away. And then somebody said, stop doing that because you're stealing their gift or their joy of giving. So receive it with gratefulness. And that's the best way to repay someone for a gift they gave you. If they're giving with great intentions, they were not doing it to get back. They were doing it because they want to see you smile. And so I think sometimes our lack of appreciation from, hey, you gave me a gift, to where immediately I go to, now I got to get you something. I didn't even pause this to really enjoy the fact that you thought of me. Because I guess even though we live in a very self-centered world sometimes we don't like to be self-centered. You know what I mean? So like we kind of protect ourselves from owing someone else maybe. I don't know the answer, but I've had to fight that. When that person told me, hey, stop doing that. Just say thank you and let them receive the gift and the joy of giving to you, of supporting what you're doing and believing in you. Because if they gave me $50 and I turned around next week and sent them a check for $50, what was that? That wasn't a gift, and it wasn't received very well. So I joked with the Wallingfords that hey, you want to buy me something? I do not have any guilt or any obligation to get you something back. I will receive your gift with joy, and I will. But I like it. I like the idea if I see something that I think makes me think of you and other people. Everything I think of you all the time, but that joy of giving because you thought of something special that somebody could use, there's some joy in that as well. And it's not, you're not obligated to me. I just thought of you and this will fit you perfectly.
That's good.
So we're done with the show. That's it.
I thought you had some notes about stuff you want to talk about.
My notes consist of like 3 points and we did all 3.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess because we had a long conversation with the Wallingfords about gifts and how sometimes I think it's harder for husbands sometimes to, I don't know, not all husbands, but me and Nick were kind of in the same situation. Like we kind of felt like, especially with like, I'll just say this. During Christmas, I don't like being forced into giving someone a gift that I really wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Now I have this pressure of giving you a gift.
Man, it's interesting that like gift giving, which is supposed to be this like fun thing, it can seem very complicated.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And because I've heard it in lots of conversations, not that just this one, like this weird angst about giving and people feeling really conflicted around like almost that, and especially around Christmas or birthdays, this sense of like this holiday that instead of it being a natural expression of a celebration, there's a lot of expectation and people really feeling crushed almost under the weight of all the expectation that's bound up in that. I think that's really interesting.
Instead of just enjoying the day. I mean, yeah, and I know it's well intended to, hey, put everybody's name in the hat, you pick someone and you go get them a gift. But if you don't know them, you're not around them, you don't know them that well, then this pressure of what do I give this person, and I don't want to give that cheesy gift that has nothing to do with who you are, anything you like, and you look at me and go, thank you, and everybody's awkward.
I guess, so you talking about that makes me think maybe there are some categories that exist in my brain that don't exist in everybody's when it comes to gift giving. Because I think there's like different kinds of gifts to me. And there's different ways for them to be meaningful. I think like my most favorite gift to give
wait. Oh, I thought you said to get the receipt. I can get some paper down so I can get that. But go ahead. Your favorite gift?
No, I'm not giving you a gift list. I think the thing that's both most rewarding to me as a giver and to the person that's receiving is a gift that kind of has everything. There's already a relationship there. It's something that is comes from the fact that I know the person that I'm giving to. And so a gift that communicates that I value you. Often there's some level of surprise, but it feels meaningful because the person receiving it feels seen and known, and so it can be connected to something that I already knew they wanted, or an interest, or maybe something that is connected to an experience that we shared together, something that says I thought of you and also, makes you feel known. And I think that maybe because that's like, I get the sense that that is kind of the ultimate gift, is where you already have relationship. It just kind of checks all the boxes. But I think that then sometimes because that's the best, we discount the other kinds. And I think that part of the reason that I really can enjoy gift giving is I have other categories. So that's great. But then I also think that there is something great about a gift that is just a physical token of saying, affirming value in somebody else. And so there is a certain amount of like the whole, you have a pool of friends, or my family, my siblings, as we've all grown, we do that, where everyone pulls one name. And I think that I like it the best when I pull their name and I already know exactly what to get for this person.
And what I don't like in that sense, is then I get a list of things that they want. And I get to pick from the list of things they want. And so everybody tells, hey, I want these things, go get me something. And we're kind of just like exchanging dollar bills, it feels like.
And that's what I'm saying. I have a different perspective.
Okay.
Because I think, yes, that's my most favorite, when I pull their name and I know exactly what they want. But I think that the reason that I value that practice is it's a practice every year of affirming that relationship, of saying that I value this person as a part of my family. And the reason that then maybe gift lists are helpful is because sometimes I pull the name of someone that just married into the family, or a sibling that I have a lot of siblings. So some of them, it's been a long time since I really know deeply where they're at in life and what would be meaningful. And so in some ways that gift list is a way for me to get a window into where they're at in life and what
season of life they're in right now.
Right. And I totally agree if the whole gifting setup is, here's a list of all of the things and don't you dare buy anything not on my list. That's, I think, actually a receiving problem. When you've made a list of what you want and you've set up expectations that other people are obligated to give you a gift from your list, like just go buy what you want if that's
right.
I think of the list as a way of saying, to family or people in your, gifting pool, just giving them a little window into your life. And so I see that even like making gift lists as an act of generosity to people that want to know me, that want to affirm the relationship, but maybe it's not at a point because of time or space where they really know me well. And so I think of even that as a way of saying, here's a little window into what I'm interested in this season. So that then they can give a gift that feels connected in some way. I think if I come to the table with a gift list that's like, I want these 6 things and it needs to be these brands, and if you buy off the list, then what are you even doing? Well, that is very transactional. That's not really.
That's a good thing. I think I like that. I like gifts to be relational, not transactional. And I feel like sometimes it goes to the transaction stage, and I'm not into that. And I guess you give me a different perspective of the list. So thank you for that. And maybe people listening get the different perspective. Because the list to me always seemed transactional. Like, here's what I want. Here's a list of things. And now, okay, I'll just go buy what you want and you go buy what I want. And then it feels very transactional. So maybe I got to change my perspective to more relational and think deeper like you think.
Yeah, that's my perspective on that kind of pool. And I think the reason that I like those, sometimes it feels natural and it's great, but the reason that I like those as ongoing tradition is it's a way of saying this pool of people are people that I value, that I care about, that I want to invest in. And sometimes pulling a name of someone you don't really know very well is a reminder for me of wanting to still affirm that these relationships, this community matters to me, and I'm going to participate in it, even when maybe, because I think actually a lot of the reason I feel that like angsty feeling is because it makes me realize that there's still relational work to be done there. It feels better and more, almost like a more powerful position when I'm like, oh, I know this person. I know exactly what I want to give them.
Something wrong.
And it feels like a very like kind of a weaker position to be able to say, I value this person. They're a part of my community. And it reminds me, I don't know them as well as I wish I did. But I think that there's still a way to participate in that that's meaningful to me. And then I also think that for me, there's also a category, there's like a category of gift where maybe I actually know very little about this person, but I want to affirm them and say that I see you and I value you. And actually my current technique for that kind of gift,
everybody listen up. Here's the technique.
When it's like, it's a teacher gift. And I, especially with COVID currently, I've never been in this person's space. There's no way, even if I'd paid a lot of attention, for me to know this person well enough to know this is what they want. Then what I tend to do with that is try to go with a gift that has some sort of meaning or story behind it. So one of my favorite things is to buy fair trade. Because even if the person that I'm giving it to doesn't love decorative bowls, this bowl comes with a story of the person who was given work and was able to put their kid through school because they have meaningful work to do.
All right, I'm going to do this. I usually don't like to give plugs for organizations unless they sponsor the show. But we actually sponsor this project, Fair Trade Friday Box. Can you explain what that is?
Mercy House Global is one of my favorite places to buy fair trade stuff from. There's a lot of places that do it. And then I guess this is maybe a side thing, is that I subscribe to their Fair Trade Friday box. And it's actually one of the ways that I keep gifts on hand that are meaningful for those kinds of gifts where it's like, oh, it's somebody's birthday and I need a gift to give. I kind of just keep a little stash. So every month I get a box that's full of fair trade items, and each one comes with the story of the person that made it or the project and kind of their backstory. And it's everything from artisans that are being supported in different countries. There's a lot of artisans here who are maybe refugees and are part of a program to help them have meaningful work to do to support their family and kind of acclimate to a new country. And so that's my favorite sort of thing where I kind of like gift myself a surprise gift every month. And half the time I use everything in our normal life. And then there's also things where I'll just stash them for that kind of gift when I have a birthday, a teacher gift, something like that, where I can feel like I don't know this person, but the item itself is meaningful. My dollars went to support someone, to give them meaningful work to do. And that's even the kind of gift that then, knowing if it doesn't fit them, they can keep it and they can re-gift it to a person that until it finally finds a home where it really is, exactly what somebody wanted. But that helps me because I feel like the item itself has some sort of meaning or story or value. And there's probably lots of ways to do that.
Mercy House Global.
Mercy House Global. Yep. They have a Fair Trade Friday box that you can be a part of their program. And then all of their profits go to fund a home that they rescue pregnant girls from lots of different situations. They give them a home. They train them how to care for their babies. Then they help train them and give them work to do. So the profits from that go to fund that, and then they work with artisans all over the world, which is
artisans. You using these big words. What is
artisans? Is
yeah,
that a
artisans.
Big word?
What is artisans?
Well, there's probably a technical definition, but I just mean kind of like artists, but people that work with their hands that create things. Often it's really useful things. It's textiles or home, maybe it's wooden. I've gotten everything from like wooden spoons to dish towels to decorative bowls or candles, soap that's handmade. But it's kind of that idea of someone who's doing something on a small scale skilled work with their hands.
Okay. Well, I would suggest people check out Mercy House Global. And I think you've gave some great insight on gift giving today. Do you have any other tips for us? Because it really could turn into a tip. Natalia may actually take our notes and turn it into some kind of 5-point gift tips for gift. 5 tips for gift giving. I don't know, but I really appreciate your heart for giving. I've been a beneficiary of your great gift giving. I'm telling you. Actually, I made another video about. I'm gonna tell my wife. A few Christmas ago, you gave me 2 gifts. One because I was taking a new position at our church, the kids pastor, and you gave me all the office supplies, but not just the office supplies. Every office supply had a note on it that had something to do with that office supply and me, and I still haven't. I haven't used the office supplies. It's still in the box. Sorry. But I see the box off and I look through them and just amazed. So I made another video about that. I'll put in the show notes too about your gift giving. So,
and maybe that would be my last one of my last thoughts is just that you don't have to have a big budget to gift well. It actually takes more work sometimes, I think, to put it's a lot of the thought work of coming up with what is the meaning that you want to communicate, because some of the gifts that you talk about all of the time cost very little.
But it costs a lot of your time. Like the book you gave me, A through Z, that you gave me a card and every one of them was finely craft decorated, had an A, and it was all about an A that reminded me of you all the way through Z. And I remember you gave them to me on Christmas and I said, no, give me one a week. I want to spread this out. And I have the book and I really appreciate it. But I think, for me, part of the things I'm overcoming in my life, and I made a video about this on my other channel, was sometimes I have the mentality, if I can't do it big, I won't do it at all. And that's just not in gift giving. That's just in general. Like if I can't do it big, I don't want to do it at all. People say go big or go home. And I don't think that's a good practice for life and everything, because even the small things matter. And so I've been learning how to, if I can't buy you a car every year, what do? I have to do something else. And you've taught me the meanings are more important. I remember I wrote some little sticky notes and you were so excited about the sticky notes I left around the house. And that was very small, but it did take a lot of time, thoughtfulness. And I think that's what I'm getting from you about being a gift giver. It's about thoughtfulness, not about money, not about the size. It's about really being thoughtful.
Yeah.
So we can start the music now because we're done.
Sure.
I mean, if you got anything else to say, we can definitely say it.
It's good.
You sure?
Yeah. Go give some gifts.
Go give some gifts. Because I think, people, every time we do a podcast, people talk about how great you are. And I agree with that. You have a lot of knowledge. So hey, if you're listening out there, leave a comment on YouTube. We love to get your input. What do you think about some of these ideas of gift giving? If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, I don't know if you can leave notes on there or messages, but this will be on YouTube. So hi, YouTube people who are watching us right now. And we thank you for taking time to listen to Conversations with the Browns. And we'll be making more episodes in the future. You can always check us out. Just visit lifewiththebrowns.com. What's our website, babe? I want to hear you say it.
Lifewiththebrowns.com.
That was good. Thank you.